Well, even before authorities arrested the 21-year-old, journalists from the New York Times had already tracked him down. For more on how they found him, we're joined now by one of those journalists. Riley Mellen is a visual investigative reporter with the New York Times. So Riley, thank you for making some time for us this afternoon.
Thanks, Ellery. It's great to be speaking with you.
If you can, walk us through what your involvement was in tracking down Teixeira.
Certainly. So it all started when two of the people who were in the Discord server in which the documents allegedly initially leaked reached out to Eric Toller, who is a investigator with the outfit Bellingcat and works with the New York Times as well. Those two people spoke with Eric and let them know that the potential leaker, whoever it was at that point, was mutual friends with them and they all played video games together on Steam, which is a popular video gaming platform. Eric, another reporter on the team, Haley, myself, and a few others all started looking through these mutual friends' connections on Steam on this video gaming platform, and narrowed down a short list of people who had all played video games together. It seemed like they were all roughly in the same circle. One of those accounts in particular stood out to us. They stood out to us because they had actually all been recently unfriended by their former friends. And when we went to the person's Steam video game page, it looked like they had used a couple very unique usernames. We searched the internet, we searched social media for the social media usernames listed in that Steam profile, and eventually found not just social media profiles for Jack, but also social media profiles for his family as well. In one of those social media pictures, he was standing in his, National Guard uniform at a kitchen counter. Now, meanwhile, earlier in the day, our reporters had obtained another tranche of approximately 25 new documents that had not yet been seen before. Those documents appeared to have been photographed on a kitchen countertop, granite countertop with white tile floor in the background. That evening, it hit us that the granite countertop pictured in the photo of Jack and the granite countertop pictured on the social media profiles were the exact same.
So kitchen countertops is sort of the key here in terms of what led you to identifying Jack Teixeira. Of course, we were just showing while you were speaking those images of the FBI arresting that 21-year-old at his Massachusetts home on Thursday. Did you help authorities to find Teixeira, or did they uncover his identity independently?
They uncovered his identity independently. It came out, I believe, later on the day of his arrest that authorities had obtained information from a variety of social media and video game platforms and spoke to a few other people in his circle of friends, and that actually led them to the identity of Jack himself and eventually to make the arrest. It just so happened that our investigation was occurring in parallel and found him the morning of his arrest.
What do you make of the motive here? What we've heard from authorities so far, even your own reporting here and your colleagues reporting about the motive for leaking these documents?
It's tough to say, frankly. We've spoken to a couple different people in that circle, and they've offered a few different conflicting opinions on his motivations. The prevailing theory right now is that he really just did it to impress his friends. People seem to have looked up to him in the server and the video game server, and he wanted to impress them with his knowledge of the world, his access to these classified documents, and otherwise just improve his standing among his friends. At first glance, that really appears to be his potential motivation for leaking these documents.
Of course, one of the big questions here, Riley, over the past couple of days, heard a lot of people discussing this on various television networks and newspapers about how a 21-year-old was able to gain access to top secret Pentagon material. Based on your investigation, your colleagues' investigation, what do you know so far about why he had access to these documents?
So again, we can't really say for sure, but we do know that Jack was he served in essentially an IT capacity in a unit of an intelligence wing in the Massachusetts Air National Guard. Whether it was his unit, the intelligence unit itself, that had access to these documents and he was able to see them through his membership in that unit, or whether he was an IT person who had access to sensitive computer systems in that regard, we can't quite say, but it appears that he did nonetheless have access to several significant and fairly sensitive systems that allowed him to pull these documents.
Riley, thank you. We really do appreciate you coming on and walking us through some of the work that you and your colleagues have been doing. Thank you for your time this afternoon.
My pleasure. Thanks for speaking, Hillary.
Riley Mellen with the New York Times.